Namaskaram. In our last class, we had studied about the legislature, the first organ of government. The first organ of government, legislature, parliament. And here, in this part of the lesson, we are going to study about the executive, the second organ of government. The organ of the government which implements the law and administers the country is called as executive. In legislature, it was making law, and here in executive, it is implementing law. Implementing law, that's the duty of executive. There are two types of executive, central executive and state executive. Two levels of executive, central executive and state executive. The central executive that consists of president, ministers and bureaucracy. President, ministers and bureaucracy are included in central executive. The president and the ministers are elected persons. That's why they are called the political executive. But the bureaucracy, they are appointed on the basis of their qualification. They will remain in job, remain in office up to their retirement. They are permanent. That's why they are called as permanent executive. The bureaucracy is called as permanent executive. Bureaucrats are permanent executive. The political leaders, the ministers and presidents are political executive. In our textbook, we can see the picture of our first president. Who is that? Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of India. Who is the present president of India? Now, the Rashtrapati of India, President of India, Ramnath Kovind. Ramnath Kovind is the present President of India. And how a president is elected? President is elected through an electoral college, by an electoral college. This electoral college consists of elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of state legislative assemblies. The elected members are only included in electoral college. Nominated members in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha are not included in that. Elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of state legislative assemblies are the members of electoral college, that is electing the President of India. All the executive powers of central government are vested in the hands of President of India. But he performs these powers, performs his duty with the help of a council of ministers. The functions of President of India are listed in our textbook as some points. You please see that points. Functions of President: appoint Prime Minister and other ministers, appoint Chief Justice and judges of the Supreme Court, nominate 12 members of Rajya Sabha and 2 members of Lok Sabha, act the Supreme Commander of Armed Force, act as the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, give assent to bills passed by the Parliament, declare emergency in the country if needed, take decision on mercy petitions. Besides the president, a vice president is also there for India. You can see the picture of first vice president of India, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan was the first vice president of India. Who is the present vice president of India? Uparashtrapati. Present vice president of India, Venkaiah Naidu. Venkaiah Naidu is the present vice president of India. This vice president is also elected by an electoral college. An electoral college. Then who are the members of this electoral college? The elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are the members of electoral college, that is electing the vice president of India. The functions of vice president is also given there in our textbook. You please see that. Performs the functions of president in his absence. In the absence of the president, vice president is performing the duties, the functions of president. Presides over the sessions of Rajya Sabha. We had studied that in Lok Sabha, who is presiding? The Lok Sabha speaker is presiding in Lok Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, vice president is presiding in Rajya Sabha sessions. We had told that the president is performing the duties or the functions of executive with the help of a council of ministers. A council of ministers. And who are included in this council of ministers? Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of States, Deputy Ministers. Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers are included in Council of Ministers. Then what are the duties of Cabinet Ministers? Exercise the charge of ministries. Then the duty of Ministers of State, assist the Cabinet Ministers. And what are the duties of Deputy Ministers? Assist the other ministers. In the Council of Ministers, Prime Minister is there. Prime Minister. Who is becoming as the Prime Minister? The leader of the major party, majority party in Lok Sabha or majority coalition in Lok Sabha is appointed as the Prime Minister of India. Who was the first Prime Minister of India? The picture is given there in our textbook. Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. And who is the present Prime Minister of India? Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi is the present Prime Minister of India. The functions of Prime Minister that are given there as a list in our textbook. You please see that. Acts as the leader of Lok Sabha. Presides over the meetings of the cabinet. Coordinates the functions of the Council of Ministers. Informs the President of the decisions taken by the cabinet. All these are the functions of Prime Minister. Just like that, central executive in every states, a state executive is also there. The governor is the head of state executive, and a chief minister is there, and his cabinet is there, and a council of ministers are also there. They are performing the duties of state executive. All these are about the second organ of government, executive. We will discuss about the third organ, judiciary, in another class. Now we are going to wind up. Namaskaram.